Page 13, Better is One Day. 4/4 time, key of G major, it's got one sharp, all the F's are sharped. I have a few things I want to point out here. The challenge, in my opinion, on this piece is going to be the rhythm. So let's talk about this rhythm carefully. If you're struggling with rhythms, I would encourage you to go back to book one or whatever method book or books you've been in and try and go through them and understand the rhythms. It's important you be able to count out the rhythms, especially when they start introducing 16th notes at the beginning in the right hand. We'll do the right hand first. First couple measures aren't bad. It's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And pretty much through here, you're almost, at least to start with, you're going to be counting eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3, and if you'll just count the 1 and 2 and know the 16th notes fall in between. So you don't have to count 1 and a 2 and a bleh. I'm too lazy for that. So if I can think 1 and 2 and I can put the 16th notes in between them. The last measure, the first line, 1 and 2 and 3. See that 16th note? And 3 and 3. So it's again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and very slowly the whole piece like that. This rhythm happens a lot, so we'll get this. Second line, second measure that comes on the end of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's tied. So again, the last two measures of the second line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 4 and like so. Page 14, same rhythm at the top of the page. So let's skip to the second line. Again, this rhythm we've had notes might be a little different, but the rhythm. Second line, first measure on page 14. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then we're back to that rhythm again. Third line down, last measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 4 and a 4 and then the last line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and well, you work that, and that rhythm goes on and on and on for a while. And at the bottom of the page, it's back like it was at the beginning. Same rhythm, same notes. But on page 16 and 17, it's more of the same stuff we've already had. Same rhythm, same notes, same kind of stuff. Left hand, because the left hand's doing something totally different. You're playing on the ands a lot. You're at the beginning on page 13. 1 and 2 and 3 and... Careful. The last note, that comes on the end of 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and... So those two eighth notes tied together, it's the same as a quarter note. But they didn't use a quarter note because it's in between a beat. So they want a note on the beat if possible. So the second tied eighth note there, the two D's that are tied, the second one comes on beat 3. So it's take out the tie. Just play 1 and 2 and 3 and. That's what it is. But put in the tie. 1 and 2 and 3 and. She's just hanging on to it for an extra half a beat. In case you're wondering why it's 2 eighth notes tied together and not just a quarter note. And the reason is because the second eighth note, it comes on a beat, and so they're showing the beats here, which helps a little bit. And that's really the rhythm that the left hand is getting for a good part of this. Now occasionally it comes back into sanity, like on the second line, second measure, it's 1 and 2, cross over, and then down. That's not so bad. Throughout this piece, the left hand is pretty much doing that rhythm. The notes might be a little different, but the rhythm is there. Now, let's see if we can put the two hands together slowly. At the beginning on page 13, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. At the bottom, be careful, it's a little tricky. Again, this is an arrangement. It's not exactly piano music, but we'll do what we can. But that at the bottom, those last two D's in the right hand, well, right before that, the left hand's playing that same key. It's playing a D. And it's a rest in the left hand when the right hand plays, which is fine, except the right hand needs to connect the notes. That has to be connected. So the left hand has to get off the D a little bit early so the right hand can have it. Here, get off. As long as you're aware of it, that's the point. It's just these things creep up on you. So let's go over to page 14. Third line down, second measure. It's here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and... Now here you have a rest in the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... Right on 3, you lift up the right hand. It's a rest. So right after you play the C, you lift up the right hand. So the last measure of the third line is 1 and 2 and 3 and. Because in 4, you got to be up here. 4 and. So again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 3 and 4 and 1. No rest here, keep it down. And so forth through that. So between the part we played for page 13 and this part, that's pretty much it. If you can work out those two things, you can get through this piece. Dynamic wise, again, they're just suggestions. This is a gentle piece, it's a moderately slow piece. You're not going to play it real fast. It's the right hand we want to hear, the melody. The left hand has to stay out of the way. So at So you work that out after you get all the rhythm and fingering worked out. Then over on page 14, third line down at the end, now you can crescendo a little bit, don't get loud. So the chorus, the last line, this is sort of a medium loud. It's just up a little bit. Don't get, again, it's not a loud piece, so you don't get loud. And then you stay that way until the verse comes back at the bottom of page 15. You see the last line, you get that decrescendo, so you're going back down to your medium soft. So that last line on page 15, get soft. See, now you get quarter notes in the left hand, helpfully. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on pages 16 and 17, the left hand is calmed down quite a bit. Hopefully that will help you out a little bit. And then at the end, well, you have a chorus there on page 16, so you're going to get a little louder for the chorus. Go back up to about a medium loud. And then at the end on page 17, the last line, you're going to get softer and slow down. fast you roll it is up to you. It's based on the atmosphere and the mood of the piece. If this is a fairly slow piece and you're getting soft, you can roll that almost like quarter notes. Just slow it down and softly and hang on to it. I'm going to hold it an extra 4 counts because of the fermata, but that's generally the way it would be. You work all that out, and then we can add the pedal to kind of help connect everything. Our problem is we don't want the pedal to mess it up too much because it can blur this up quite a bit. Basically, it's going to be legato pedal, and we're going to change it every 2 beats for the most part. Well, let's see how it goes. At the beginning, legato pedal here, and for this part, the first 2 measures, you can actually just change it once each measure because the harmony isn't changing. We could almost get away with pedaling all the way across the first 2 measures. The problem is I'd still like to hear the rest in the right hand on the second measure. So I'm going to lift the pedal up to hear the rest. And remember, we're keeping the hands down here. Don't start playing staccato because the pedal's going to hold the sound out. But I'm recommending at least every 2 beats here, starting with the verse, the last measure, the first line. Now on the second line, last measure here, I don't pedal it until I play the D. So, and I'll lift it up before I play the 8th notes. The left hand stays down. Like so. I will keep pedaling it that way all the way through. Well, at the top of page 14, you're still here. Lift it up for the 8th notes. Every 2 beats. Same as what we had before. I don't pedal the 8th notes there either. And I don't pedal that. I hold the left hand down and then go on. You can hold the pedal down all across the first measure, but I still think it's a bit much. If I do, it's here. So I'm going to change the pedal every 2 beats again. And you could actually get away with not pedaling the last beat in those measures. So that is like at the end of the 3rd line, clean by itself. Although you got to hold the half note down in the left hand, so the last line on page 14, if I don't pedal the last beat, it's this way. And again, at the top of page 15, 2nd measure, I don't pedal until I play the A in the right hand. At the end, the bottom of page 15 is back to every 2 beats. Now the second measure you can pedal across except lift it up for the last 8th note. So it's because it's a new phrase. So the last line on page 15 is here. Now we're back at the last measure on page 15. We're back to every 2 beats here. Page 16, every 2 beats. And at the last, on page 16, first line, last measure, I don't pedal until I play the D. the eighth notes. Lift up for the eighth notes. Lift up. And this is the pedal the same way you had it before. You get down to the bottom of page 17, the last line. The first measure every 2 beats. And here you can smear this. It's okay. Just leave it down for the last 2 measures solid. Just smear all that sound together. It just kind of gets right there at the end. Just you got to be very soft when you do that, of course. And then at the end, that last measure, a technique you can try is you lift the keys up gently. Keep the hands on the keys, just lift the keys up and then slowly release the pedal. And the sound should die away. You don't want to end it soft and then suddenly no sound. It's like, what? No, let it die away. You're going to have to work out a way to get these pages turned. You may have to practice that. You may have to leave out notes or something because the beat goes on. There's no repeats on it. It just goes straight through. But you got to be able to get this worked out. So sometimes if you have like a whole note or something in one hand, then you can, while the other hand is playing, then you can take advantage of the pedal to keep the sound going for you and use that hand to turn the page or something. But practice the page turns so they're nice and smooth and even. We don't want to mess up the rhythm because of a page turn. But what I'm going to do in a play with me is I'm going to do it like page 13. Then we'll stop. I'll count us in again, and we'll do pages 14 to 15. Then we'll stop, count us in again, and we'll do the rest of it. Because I don't want to deal with the page turns while I'm doing the play with me thing. So I'll give us 4 counts at the beginning of this very slowly. I'm not doing dynamics. I just want to do the notes and the rhythms. And now, see, you may want to play one hand at a time with me for a while until you get this rhythm down pretty good. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And 2 and 3 and 4 and stop, turn the page. Now the D is tied from before, but I'll go ahead and play it again because I turned the page. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 Turn the page. 1, 2, ready and go. And